Today's mob rules brought to you at 100% power. Because you know Dave's back. Because that's why we're back at 100% power.
Hell yeah.
Hold on.
Oh, Dave is chugging at you guys.
Oh man, Dave, you are just testing the limits of my expensive audio equipment.
In their
I can't put up with you guys unless I'm drunk, so I gotta get going.
That's why you called out last episode, because you're like, I'm too sober for this, guys. No, this is not going to happen.
Yeah, no, I felt I needed to call out because literally it was because of Oliver. If it hadn't been because of your young son, I'd have been here sharing the plague with you.
Well, I was going to say,
just fuck you, Dave.
I would have been here like, hey, Danny, what's up?
Oh,
you know, Dave, we told you to read Plague War, not begin a Plague War.
Not be Plague War.
Oh man.
But I mean, if you were going to call out for like any episode, the one where I can easily make puns to cover it is definitely kind of my preference. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Before we begin, I guess we'll rewind a little bit. What's some of your takes on Plague War, seeing as our listeners missed out on your infamous correct idea? They didn't get to hear us argue about the structure of the story or
his venerable wisdom.
My venerable wisdom can add anything to it. So I'm happy with the way you guys reviewed it, just the way it is. I liked your take on it for once.
I mean, that's how I feel. Like
I think
we're going to keep doing book reviews. I feel we're going to keep doing them in a way that's not just hey, we're going to retell step by step the entire story. Kind of just talking large narrative curves. I think the next one we have due is Spears of the Emperor.
Ooh.
I think coming down the road, I forgot. I made a schedule.
It comes out.
We can get it
today.
Today.
Today it's out. Finally, out of being out of special edition. I started reading Solar War. That book is a freaking amazing.
I just need to get it from John.
You do.
Oh, there you go.
You had to order a hard copy, didn't you?
I ordered a hard copy to get my coaster set from Black Library. So I now have it on Audible and a hard copy. All for the price of about $10 a coaster. Think after shipping is what it came out to.
Worth it.
Yep.
So worth it. But hey, GW, if you want to Forge Worldify Black Library and just maybe send a couple of those books over to the US so I don't have to spend like $30,000 shipping over here, I would be all over that. Like something on something. I don't know.
Me too.
But yeah, Dave, long time no see. What's been going on? What's up with you? Apart from the plague.
So
tell us your story.
When we last left our intrepid,
tell us, what is your story?
Sing me the song of your people.
When we last left our intrepid Dave, he
I don't have music for this.
Yeah,
I'm saying I don't
need it.
What's up, douchebag?
Oh, you do have music for it. There it is.
I wish I had Bravely Bold Sir Robin queued up because I feel like that accurately describes what you're going to tell us. Sorry, we'll stop interrupting you.
Oh no,
no, just kidding.
Why
we're not done yet?
why would you start now? That's
love you, buddy.
I know, right?
We got an episode of bullying to catch up on.
You have no idea.
We got to be a star.
Hold on.
It just sounds like you're choking on a dick.
Pretty typical.
I got a tiny throat, so. No, I was working on our when I completely derailed our urban conquest campaign by getting deathly ill.
That's okay. I've further derailed it by not being able to not be at work.
You know who the one person is that has not been derailed by it?
Cody.
And
God bless that guy.
He's like, all right, I got everything. It's fully painted. When are we doing this final battle round? I was
man,
we still got to do battle round number 3, son.
Yeah.
Calm your tits, Cody.
That's for Cody right there. That's
man, what a champ. That guy's a good guy.
Well, because he's got to start on his Daradio for the Midnight Sun GT and the rest of his list for that he's running. So he was like, I got to wrap up the Tyranids. Boop, they're wrapped, done. I was like, all right.
A didgeridoo?
Can I...
That's the Australian version of the Dreadnought. It's exactly the same. It's just 3 times the price.
Super gay.
And upside down.
Oh. Not that any of our Australian listeners.
I hit the wrong button. But
Yeah.
Shh. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. It was meant to be a badumts, but I got a side trombone. But I feel the effect was the same. It's just the same.
God, I forgot to bring your present today.
Oh, yeah?
I have it. I have it ready to go.
You have a present for
bag.
me?
I really do.
Yeah.
And
it's really nice.
Is it another bag of shit that's on fire?
I mean, it's a bag of shit, but it's a bag of shit that you want, believe me.
All right. Got it. No, so I had finished up my Dire Avengers.
Nice.
My first set of Dire Avengers. I built my second set of Dire Avengers and converted one of the extra models I bought off of eBay, Dire Avenger, into an Autarch rather than a Dire Avenger X-Art.
Nice.
So that I have a full battalion. And because I wanted to keep rolling on forward, I picked up 2 planes and a Wave Serpent because I feel it fits my fluffy narrative. And by fluffy, I mean 2 planes kind of seems dickish, but I'm not going to build them as the absolute dick models.
I mean, if you bought they're all kind of dickish.
Right. But so my personal story narrative
It's like
for what we have.
buying a dual handgun rifle kit, but promising not to build the most dangerous one. The other one's still pretty fucking bad.
Here, I glued the stock on kind of crooked, so it's a little bit harder for me to shoot it right. But, I mean, it still fires at full volume pretty much.
Would be a blunderbuss in my case.
Yeah.
I
just shoved a bunch of nails in there, guys. No, just kidding. I didn't put in nails. I just put in,
I put in
a bunch of
screws. I'm not a
thumbtacks.
dick.
Yeah, dude. I just wanted you to, I didn't want it to hurt so bad.
I didn't want you to die.
Right.
Just really wanted to shoot you with something painful.
Just permanently maim you.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
No, I feel like it fits my personal narrative. So that you've got Farseer to be in his squad of Dire Avengers arrives on the planet to search for whatever that Eldrad sent them for. Find the Wraith Lord.
Milk.
Fired. They went for milk.
Yeah.
We found milk on planet 4 Loco. Please come get us.
It fits your personal narrative that all the Eldar are cat furries.
No, that doesn't fit anybody's fucking narrative. You fucking shut up. Oh, Jesus.
The amount of furries I saw last weekend at the Renaissance Fair.
I will flip this table. Holy shit. So, and then the Wave Serpent comes in to pick him up, flanked by 2 planes just to get him off the planet. That's the way that I have it.
Yeah.
It's not to be a competitive list because it's not even remotely built to be a competitive list at all. So, and it fits. And I really just wanted to paint some planes.
Okay.
They're really nice models.
They're cool models.
And they're multi-kit, kind of make whatever the hell you want. So,
I mean, 1 of 3.
well, yeah.
Whatever you want within that limited
within
range.
that limit.
Fucking got him, John.
Shit. In my face.
Build whatever you want. Can you build a Wave Serpent, Dave? I don't think you can.
A Wave Serpent isn't a plane, so
I can.
Can you
Do you
build
want
a
to see me do it?
Yeah, I kind of do, actually.
All right.
Stay out of my truck. That's where my unbuilt kit is. I don't need you to turn it into a Wave
Danny,
Serpent.
go into his truck right now.
Dave, your window was rolled down, right? Oh.
I rolled it up. I don't trust John's neighborhood. Sketchy.
It's fair.
Yeah.
Any place that'll let John live.
The house is under my wife's name. It's fine.
That's so I can hide from the police.
But yeah, no, I haven't even worked on that anymore. I've been too swamped with work, too swamped at home, dealing with kids and stuff like that. Bought another car, so.
Oh, hey,
Look at you.
Yeah, it's a stick because I hate my kids.
You actually bought another car. I thought you were talking about like your motorcycle without.
No, you bought a car because your kids asked for a car, so you decided to be a supportive father by getting them stick shift.
Yeah, getting
You're like, fuck you, figure it out.
Getting them a smoking deal on a really nice automobile that
You know why it's a smoking deal?
Drive.
No one drives stick.
That's right, and they need to learn.
Oh.
So, but other than that, that's pretty much all I've been up to.
Hey, Danny.
Except I did play in the States tournament before.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this is going back to the way back.
You had a.
If only I had like a dream sequence noise.
I was able to have one game at our States tournament.
Sorry, I'm going to be providing all of the sound effects for Marvel from now on.
Yeah, I'm
Seriously,
limited to 8, so anything more than that is.
And they're not even good. So,
what's up, douchebag?
That's
all right. That was pretty good. Yeah. No, I played in our States tournament because I wanted to make sure that we hit GT status, which we didn't. So,
which was a failure.
And then I had to leave because I had high school graduation stuff. And
I mean, I'm proud of you. You finally graduated.
right?
About fucking time, dude.
It wasn't so much graduation as them finally just going, please leave.
Just get out of here.
Seriously.
What's 2 plus 2?
You're technically, due to prior offenses, you're not even allowed on the campus anymore. So,
what's 2 plus 2? 7. Great, you graduated. Get out.
Nice. Did I graduate magna cum loudly? There it is.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Here, I got one. Boo.
That's from the Danny board.
Yep. I have a lot of buttons.
Like
Push
you
them
could
if you
just
want.
turn that one off, Danny board. So I played against Danny's second round opponent for first round.
Oh yeah.
Which one again?
I cannot remember his name.
His name is Linton.
Linton. Thank you.
Linton.
He was
Space
down
Wolves.
from
Oh
Fairbanks.
yeah, he was.
Right?
He is.
Linton. I mean, it's easy to say with spite, that name. I appreciate that a bunch about him. Linton.
I had a,
Linton.
Yeah, see, there you go.
I don't feel like that's the
I'm
necessary.
terrified, and my name isn't even Linton.
I enjoyed Linton's the game with Linton.
Cool. Okay. Cool. I thought that was going a different direction, but all right.
I enjoyed Linton's game. It felt great having his Space Wolves hit me first turn because he seized on me, and then rolled boxcars rolled 6 for an advance and then boxcars for a charge. So his
man, I would use that dice personally for all of my hit rolls.
I was like, okay, you're on my army already. Neat.
I'll be rolling all of those dice for all of my Overwatch shots. Thank you.
I deployed in a way that I thought was right for what I wanted him to do. And he did exactly what I wanted. He set up exactly like I wanted. I was like, all right, I've got you in my line of fire. All of your units are visible to everything I have. I'm going to back up on my turn, and it's going to be amazing because I'm going first.
Apparently,
Yeah.
you deployed exactly the way he wanted you to.
It's kind of like the dude in Kung Pao who they train wrong as a joke.
Kind
I
of.
lost all my models, making me the winner.
That's not how this works.
He seized, and then everything went badly after that. I ended up losing 14 to 36, I believe. Yes. And we played all the way through to completion. He didn't table me.
That's good.
Because apparently custodes are really fast when the entire army of your opponent, except some scouts, is on the other side of the board.
They're really
and
annoying.
you deep strike them by the scouts and then proceed to make the scouts pay terribly for all of the sins of their fathers.
Like when I play Space Wolves, I'll try and bait out their stuff coming in. So like I'll have like my little thing here, and it's like Wolf, and they're like, surprise, and you're like, yeah, cool, all my army's over here.
Let me tell you about surprise, son.
Yeah, no, it was ugly and just not good.
I was like praying to draw him on the first round or like on the second round after I saw like.
So as we're playing along, he's sitting there. He's like, yeah, I'm racking up points. And I was like, if I were you, I'd slow down because Danny's over there racking up points. And you're going to end up starting Danny next round. He's like, what? No way. So he drew Danny next round.
You got to do that tactical 2014 win.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Lowball that first game, dog. Great opponent. Had a good time playing against him.
Nice.
Everything had fucking storm shields, which I'm going to go ahead and say again. Fuck storm shields. All right.
I mean, you're playing Custodes.
I don't
Complaining about invulnerable saves.
They're 4-ups instead of 3-ups.
Some of them are
And
3-ups.
Some of it's 3-ups. The worst
I'm
is
saying
3-ups.
mine are 4-ups versus his 3-ups. Everything that I shot at had a 3-up save.
Right. But
Yeah.
you have 3-up saves too. Some of your stuff does.
Some, nothing I brought. So
Oh. Okay. That's fine. I usually don't bring any 3-up saves with Custodes. They don't need it.
it's too many extra points.
Yeah.
For a model that's already over 50 points to start with. So
Fair. Big fair.
I did forget I forgot a stratagem I was planning on using to revive my bike captain in combat with his warlord, which would have killed his warlord.
Did you forget about Tanglefoot Grenade?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, I didn't get a chance to use it.
Oh. Okay.
He
No,
remembered it, but he was like the small tear rolling down his face as he realized he couldn't use it.
Yeah. No, I was gonna have the bike captain fight again, which would have killed his warlord.
Oh.
And
Oh, like you mean when he dies?
yeah.
Live and learn, or die and learn,
And
I guess.
I forgot about the heroic intervention by Wolfen of like
17 inches.
So, yeah, something like that. So I was like, I'm good. I've flanked around your Wolfen, and I'm now into all of your characters. Ha ha! The Wolfen were like, surprise, bitch.
Oh, what was that? You were within the table of Wolfen?
Yeah. They were on the table, so they could heroically intervene.
Guess I'll just die. Yeah.
Guess I'll just die then.
Yeah, no, I had a great game. I learned a lot about that particular list, and that I don't think straight custodes necessarily be completely viable anymore.
So now you're working on a Space Marine list.
Okay. No, I'm working on a list for fun for the GT that's coming up, so that I just don't have to worry about whether I play or whether I win or lose. You know, I'm doing it to test contrast. So
cool.
So like you saw the list. It's not optimized in any way, shape, or form.
Sorry, no offense, Dave.
I don't take any offense to that. I looked at what models I could build.
Offense, Danny. Yes, offense.
Yes, when I showed Danny my list, he was like, "That's okay," which is like a polite bad, but you just got like a straight bad. So I'm like, "Yes, I'll win."
That's like a White Dwarf list, Dave. That's what I think about. Jesus. Right now. That's not an insult. That's just accurate.
Again, it's what I have unbuilt sitting on my shelves, so that I can build to use the contrast paints, because my goal is to paint the entire list except Bobby G, because I'm not fucking painting him with contrast paints, and the Imperial Guard that are already painted.
If my present to you was a Leviathan with twin storm cannons,
I'd probably use
something that you painted.
Not with contrast, but yes.
All right.
Imagine
I'm not painting. So one of the things about this list of stuff that I'm building is that I'm going to paint it as Ultramarines to match with that. I would not paint a Leviathan, a sexy Leviathan with
contrast,
with Ultramarines, and not I wouldn't. You know what? I might paint it with contrast because I can fix it up later if something's wrong with it. But
sure.
I want to do show what somebody who is not a Golden Demon winning person or a tutorial writer for GW could do with contrast for a change.
Sure.
You know,
harsh words. I was just thinking, imagine, okay, you're invited to White Dwarf to play in a battle report, and you're like, yes.
Oh, this is a list I'd take hands down.
You make your list, you go there, you're super hyped, it's a great list, it's going to be a fun battle. You get there, like, oh yeah, we don't have that painted.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we're going to need you to use this unit of 5 neophytes. In conjunction with what? So that's what we got.
Figure it out, son.
Figure it out. Just 5 neophytes. Yeah, that's all you have, actually.
2,000 point list. Versus the new Sisters of Battle.
It's to represent the scene. Oh, they're just, what are they? Death Guard?
Yeah.
So, to represent that one battle. What was that in Lords of Silence? Where they
that was in Lords of Silence.
Came down and they just like wrecked everything.
Fuck yeah. Stupid ass sisters.
OP. Yeah. So anyway, that's what I've been up to.
Nice. Danny, what have you been up to?
Dramatic sigh.
Yeah. No.
Do you need sad music for this? John, cue the sad music. There it is.
It's my favorite commercial too.
I gotta just hit the button to repeat it. Go.
Okay. All right. So, oh man, you got to stop me. All right. I got some decent hobby progress done before States because I had to get some stuff painted. Like I painted up 6 tomb blades for my Necrons.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I also painted up God, what did I paint? I painted something else too. I don't know. Anyway, I definitely painted a Canoptic Cloak Cryptek as well, which was cool because I didn't have one of those done. That's a great model. That model is really awesome. I've been building some models, so I haven't actually owned any Doomsday Arcs, so I ordered 3 of those from our local store and picked those up.
You didn't have any of those?
I had none.
Huh.
It's weird, just never happened. You know, it's like the 40-year-old virgin. Just never happened for me.
No. Yeah, that's what it is. It's like the 40-year-old virgin.
Yep. Just like that movie.
Swear to God, if you break my Mexican wrestler bottle opener,
that'll be it, Dave. You're out.
You're out. Mute your microphone. Dave came down with bad gastitis.
So I just built one. Oh my God, those models are the worst to build. I hate building those things.
Oh,
It's just like lining up all of the little freaking ribs, and you line up all the ribs so like they're perfectly straight. But then when you attach it to the main section, it's now at like a 30-degree angle away from it.
Yeah, it's a weird angle. So it's taken me like 3 lunch breaks to build one Doomsday Ark. I was hoping to have them all done this week, but I just haven't had as much time as I wanted to, or haven't been as fast at building them. So I built the one, and then I immediately broke out a Lord Discordant and started building that instead. So
that's where the sudden like chaos lists are coming from. Or
well,
like, man, fuck
I've had the Lord Ds for quite a while,
Yeah.
and like I like that the Flawless Host Lord Discordants are now getting some like press because those are totally the best ones. So I'm super excited to play with those.
I feel like we might have said that in some sort of review we did of a codex.
I mean, it's almost like we said it in audio, video, and community website article thing.
Yeah, the amount of attacks Lord Discordant gets is super dumb. Flawless Host.
But he can't nearly be as good as the Chain Lord, right?
Chain Lord's good too. He's actually in my list. I decided. So I want to play a list that's really close to the one that this last week here has been talked about. The Team USA is bringing to ETC, apparently.
Okay.
So it has a Demons Battalion with a bunch of Plague Bearers and the Epitome of Slaanesh, which is such a good model. Like I've been talking about that one quite a bit.
Is that the Master Blaster one?
That's the Mirrors.
Oh, the Mirrors.
Okay.
The Mirror is amazing. So it has an aura of take a leadership test on 3d6 or you can't fall back.
Okay.
So if you combine that with Plague Bearers.
Ooh, that's really shitty.
Yeah, right? Or the other parts of the list. So the other parts of the list is it has a Heretic Astartes Supreme Command with Aramen, a Sorcerer. So their list has a Sorcerer with Crimson Slaughter.
Yeah.
And then a Lord Executioner that's a World Eater and Mortarion.
Super friends.
And then also 3 Lord Discordants. And that's like the list. So I think I'm going to swap out the Sorcerer for a Chain Lord because I want to play with that. That seems like it would be fun. And like I get why they're taking the Sorcerer because he's Crimson Slaughter, so he gets access to their strat. Right. And their stratagem is you pick a piece of terrain within 12 inches of him, and any enemy units within like I think it's 3 inches of the terrain, or maybe it's 6. Are -1 to hit from shooting. You just do it at the start of the shooting phase, their shooting phase. Mm-hmm. So, like, that is a gross ability if somebody has a fire-based build.
Combined with the Plague Bearers -1, combined with the Cloud of Flies -1.
Yeah.
Combined with the fact you can't fall back.
What's the Plague Bearers -1?
So, if you have more than 20 in a unit, is it?
20 or more. At the start of a phase.
You're -1 to hit.
Gotcha. And then you can cast Miasma on them.
Miasma, which is -1 to hit.
Or you can do that on Mortarion.
Yeah,
making Morty -2 to hit's pretty gross too.
Yeah, it's pretty bullshit.
And you have the Epitome has a psychic power that can target an enemy unit and make them -1 to hit as well, I believe.
Man, that poor 800-point Castellan. Just sitting there just like
boned.
You're hitting on 7s, boy.
Yeah, get out. Anyway, so that seems like a fun list to play. And like you've got a bunch of great tools with Aramen, so you can get like Warp Time, you can get Death Hex off on him. So you have a bunch of really great tools with him that you can use. Mortarion's a Psyker, the Epitome's a Psyker.
I mean, the Epitome is just is it an actual model that moves around?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It's 2 demonettes holding a mirror pretty much.
Movement 12 inches.
I thought it was 2 demonettes.
A very light mirror.
Mirror.
It's magic, dude. It's magic. Don't question it. And the mirror is attached to 2 snake tendrils.
Oh.
I mean, it's no tiny demonette.
Are you sure it's not tentacles?
But
Hentacles?
Hentacles?
Yeah, they could be hentacles. Anyway, so that seems like a fun list to play, but I want to concentrate on getting my Necrons up and going for Midnight Sun GT, which is coming up here. So it looks like we're going to have some out-of-state folks come up for that, which is great. Yep. Some folks from Washington area. So I'm super excited.
Looking to crush the crap out of them with my White Dwarf list.
Yeah.
Which it will henceforth be named.
Don't feed them so many points, please.
You're going to be, your list is going to be so on competitive, it's the most competitive list there.
Right. There it is. It's so
'Cause
meta breaking.
No one knows how to deal with it because that, man, this is terrible. And they're like
5 intercessors, but I wasted all my shots on these 5 models.
It's going to be the Atom. I'm going to be the mountain man of the GT.
The mountain man.
Yeah, I'm going to show up, come down from the hills and win with a non-meta list.
Come down. What's this? This is my Imperial Guard list. I call it a leaf blower.
Have you heard of it, son?
Good times.
So
Danny plays Dave in the first and second place, and Danny's just sitting there mind blown.
It goes to
figure out what?
It goes to
game 5. We're just the top. Whoever wins. Just Danny's like, I don't understand, and I'm just sitting there like,
I'm so confused.
Stone cold. I'm just stone cold.
Just rolls all 6s, wins.
Goes to a time limit draw because Danny can't stop laughing at the table.
That sounds accurate. Like from my performance on the podcast, that seems like something I would do.
Yeah,
for sure. So I'm working on Necron list. I can't really decide what I'm taking. It probably is going to have some combination of 3 Doomsday Arcs / 3 Doom Scythes. So something in there seems like something I'm going to take. So
some trio of trouble.
It doesn't sound like you have enough of the best unit that the Necrons have.
What's that?
The
Scarabs.
Yes, Scarabs. That's what I was going to say.
I mean, you should. They're really good.
They're solid, man. They won me.
I was going to say Flayed Ones. Clearly, they're the best unit.
Well, we'll talk about how good Flayed Ones are a little bit later, Dave.
In
a segment.
In Necron Army.
In a segment later on.
Yep.
Personally,
so that's probably been. I've only played one game. Oh, I played a game with my orcs against Aaron.
Oh yeah, how did that go?
Was fun. So turns out relic shock attack guns, hella good.
Had you forgotten that?
Apparently, yes. That thing obliterated, and Aaron didn't even have any good targets, but it just wasted stuff. So, because he had like 6 units of Rubric Marines.
I think I remember that game because Aaron called you a blatant cheater, and I said, "There's no way Danny can cheat. He's a min-maxing bastard, and he's good at it. He's really good at what he does." And then you screamed and yelled and insulted me, and I was like, "Screw you! I was defending you, Danny. Go to cheater's hell, you damn dirty cheater."
That is what happened, actually.
Sounds pretty accurate.
I think I called you some names that were inappropriate for the family store that I was in, and told you to eat all of the dicks. Yeah,
all of them.
All of them.
I'm not that hungry.
Sorry, they're all quite small snacks.
With your tiny throat, you may have to work them down.
Water will be provided.
It's like a hot dog eating contest.
Gross.
Dave, you're a competitive dick eater apparently now.
At least I'm good at something.
Yeah. Just runs in the family.
It's a competitive dick.
Damn it.
All right. So
that was a mom joke. If you weren't aware.
Get a timestamp. That's the first one since I've been back.
I was talking about your dad.
It's 2757.
27. That's well done, sir.
All right. Yep. So that's pretty much how I've been doing. John, why don't you tell us about how your last 2 weeks were?
Oh, man. So it was so amazing. So I had 6 weeks off for my company for paternity leave. And then I came back 3 weeks ago or so. And I've worked for the past 3 weeks every day. So that's been fun. And then school started for me again this week as well. So that's been fun. But I do have all my models sitting in the exact same position they have been for the last 3 weeks.
Oh, neat.
So
they look good.
I'm very excited about that.
I wish mine were still sitting in the same spot.
So yeah, I do like it's right now trying to get my ducks in a row. I'm hiring up at my store so I can take Midnight Sun off. So I'm going to be overstaffed by 2 people for like a couple months, but I'm taking that weekend. And hobby wise, I've really just been listening and reading. So I picked up the Claws of the Gene Stealer book, the new Warhammer 40K Adventures.
Nice.
My son's already read that, says it's amazing. Once the next one, which is...
Did he earn it?
What's that?
Did he earn it?
Oh, no. If my kids express any kind of interest in 40K, I will buy them stuff to force that.
You will buy them the world.
Yeah.
So he didn't earn it in any way?
No.
All right. Well, Amanda was asking me earlier if I would remind you that he didn't earn it.
Oh, yeah. No, he did not. But I was like, hey, Dad, I'm interested in this 40K book. And I'm like, credit card. Let's go.
Let's
get you in this hobby.
He had a birthday in the time that we were off, right?
He had a birthday. So. We went and played mini golf. I managed to buy him the book forgetting his birthday. It was like the week after.
Got it. Okay.
And then, so I got that, continuing my Solar War journey. That one's super fun. Having a great time realizing that the main action is taking place when Chaos is assaulting Uranus. I want to do a personal shout out to the writers for choosing that as like the first set battle. They're trying to take Uranus so they have a stable point to jump to in the Sol system. And like the first hour and a half of the book is just them saying how important Uranus is. And I'm like, yes. Yeah, I can get behind this.
Oh man, did they scan it for obstructions?
Oh man.
But I mean, it's super cool.
Nothing like a little Uranus siege to really get things going right.
It's pretty blocked up with ships right now.
You could say there's a log chain. Oh man! All right, I'm done being like 10.
But I mean, it's fantastic. Like when the heretic fleet arrives, it's like Abaddon arrives first for Horus, and like the Thousand Sons kind of coming behind him, and he has this big conversation with Ahriman. But it's like a ghost version of Ahriman. It's like a psychic projection, and it's like Abaddon's like, fuck you and your psychic shit. So it's kind of nice seeing like the different Abaddon again, you know, because we have like 40k Abaddon from like Talon of Horus. Black Legion and things like that. He's a very different character than these early ones. It's kind of nice
like an introspective badass in those.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then it's kind of nice because they're starting to put numbers on things. Like right now, there's around 9,000 vessels in the Sol system for this, and it was like it really kind of gets the scale all together for it. So I've been super enjoying that part. Pre-ordered Spears of the Emperor. That's going to be coming out soon. I'm very excited. Again, more current 40k. Right now, I'm just trying to devour whatever I can, learning about kind of the post-Cicatrix 40k world.
I'm going to buy it today. Like I just need to get on my phone and do it.
Yeah, it's like I said, I'm very excited for that. And you know, anything Densky Bowden does where they're like, here's free reign. Go crazy.
Oh man, I'm sure that chapter is going to have so much character.
Yeah,
I'm very excited.
It's going to have so much character. You're going to need a supreme command to run it.
Hey, and you saw that they when they released their limited edition, they released a special chapter tactic for them.
Yeah,
and then on Warhammer Online or Warhammer Community this week, they had an article about them, like kind of some of their background and stuff, and also released the rule for there as well.
Yeah,
so anybody can use it.
It's super cool. And like I said, I kind of like the idea, like the limited edition coming out right at the start, and you have like the little, hey, you can get this and you can do this, but kind of releasing it for everyone later on is super nice too.
It's a good way to go.
It is a good way to go because it rewards people who are able to get in and buy 18 copies to sell on eBay first.
Right.
And then you still get the benefit later.
So nice job, GW.
Yeah, that was super good. I was worried when I was like, oh, we're gonna have limited releases, and then in the future you'll get like your regular book. But I mean, I think it's being handled well. I mean, you have to do something to kind of promote these releases.
Yep.
And these look. I saw Liber Chaotica is coming back out. I'm very tempted by that.
I saw an article this week, or somebody made a post with like a picture of them for sale, like the previous version. For like $400.
It's like 40,000 pennies.
It's a lot of money for a book that was retailed at like $70 or something like that.
And it's reprinted now.
Right. So hopefully those prices will go down.
Hopefully, because it's a great book.
It's a great book.
But yeah, aside from that, I haven't done anything. But on the plus side, I haven't made any lists. I haven't changed my Death Guard at all. It's kind of still going what we're talking about last time.
Nice. Look at you.
Stop theory crafting and start rolling dice.
And start actual crafting.
Actual crafting, yeah, like making tables. I don't know. But I'm excited. I mean, Dave, I want to play your contrast list. I think that would be a good matchup. Cause
you're going to be so sad when you lose randomly.
I don't have a lot of guns in my list, so I think it would be a good match.
Neither do I, so it's fine.
Plus, it'll be a cool Gulliman versus Mortarion fight.
Oh, yeah,
that's
there you
always
go.
fun.
I fucking hate those. Mortarion wins that fight. Gulliman is like fucking Triangle Man.
It's all right.
I think you're underestimating how good he is.
What I'll do is when the combat...
No, I'm not but versus the other Primarchs is just like... Because, he doesn't have super demon strength, so...
Davey does have your mortal enemy, and he has a 3+ invulnerable save.
Yeah. And I don't know if you know this or not, but when you have an option of something that dies, getting back up, for me, it's always going to just stay dead.
I'm going to play narratively, though, and when Gulliman and Mortarion get into combat, Mortarion is just going to sit and talk for 3 or 4 hours.
We're chess clocking. So
which is chess clocked, and so I'll end up losing because I'm talking too much instead of just fucking crushing you.
Got caught monologuing.
Plague War. Monologuing. But yeah, so that's still on the horizon. And yeah, just kind of trying to schedule out hobby time. That's my hardest thing right now, right? Because, work is taking up so much time. Family's taking up so much time. School is now taking up so much time. It's like, where do you fit in? Where's John? Where's John time?
Yeah, it doesn't usually happen until the fall, man. I mean, that's the biggest problem with summer in Alaska and trying to get in hobby time and game time. There's so much more stuff to be doing that you can't do 8 months out of the year.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to do stuff.
Yeah, poor us with our very hot weather, fantastic fishing, and beautiful scenic hikes.
Yeah. For a month.
Bastards.
Please pity us.
Pity us now.
Well, you can.
Well, yeah, you can. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back with something.
Earl Hagen was a legend. In 1960, he whistled his way into Hollywood and into our hearts. Decades later, he made a comeback, lending those lustrous lips in the 1980s to such bands as the Scorpions, Guns N' Roses, and Pat Benatar. A half-century after his humble beginnings, he's at it again. This time without cumbersome musical accompaniment, he'll have you wetting your whistle and whistling along. His new album, Earl Whistles Disney, is sure to be a hit with all generations. Order now and receive a bonus album, Earl Whistles More Shit, a collection of previously unreleased material of Earl's favorite songs through the years. On this bonus album, he demonstrates his newly mastered technique of inward whistling. Order yours today on compact disc or double-length cassette. Also available at fine retailers such as Walgreens, CVS, and participating Sam Goody stores. Earl Whistles Disney. Buy it today.
And we're back. And by less popular demand, Plastic General returns.
Yeah.
By a demand.
By a demand.
Plastic General is pretty good, I guess.
I mean, I guess, yeah. So based on kind of recent listener emails and Danny's recent success, I decided we're going to do some Plastic General
So just so I'm clear,
Yeah.
we had a listener ask us for some advice on a list, and then Danny's had some success. So you thought that you and I should play Plastic General with an army that we know nothing about.
I mean, yeah. I mean, here's why, right? Danny knows a little bit about Necrons, one or two things, right? Yeah. So we can make our little list. And
the listeners can't see when you shake your hand a little bit, Danny.
It's just like, yeah.
I guess so fair to Midland.
Yeah, it's good advice on different units and different tactics and different things.
I can't wait for my list to be completely wrong and just shit
as well as kind of giving us an insight into what makes a Necron list like this. I will say I chose the secret ingredient this time. The secret ingredient unit we all had to use in our 1,500 point Necron lists was Flayed Ones.
Hooray!
Hooray! Flayed Ones, the slightly overcosted close combat specialist unit of the shooting army.
Yep.
Also completely insane. Yeah.
Completely. That's why they chose them. The insanity.
The fluff for the Flayed Ones is so cool.
It's amazing.
Isn't it just they're nuts and now wear the skins of humans to try to be human again?
Right. They want to reclothe themselves in flesh.
So
yeah, they want to be human again.
Can't have your soul transfer.
Or whatever their race was, technically.
Yeah.
Necron.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
you can't have your soul transferred to a robot if you just put skin over your robot body again. You're a Necron again.
You already got a skeleton.
Yeah. Flayed Ones are the Buffalo Bill of the 40K universe.
Accurate.
It rubs the lotion on its claws.
Them and Night Lords. But, like, they eat meat and stuff. Like, they try and chew it, but it just falls out of their mouth because, like, they can't swallow things.
Have they tried
Like
going
Slimer
vegan?
from Ghostbusters.
No, why would they do that?
I don't know. Well, obviously they haven't because they'd be talking about it continuously.
Oh, that's true. You would know it if they had.
Someone needs to convert like a Flayed One
Oh
that's
my
just
God.
covered in lettuce.
He's vegan.
You have 18 Flayed Ones and Charles. Charles is vegan.
Guys, flesh is murder.
Flesh, he just runs up killing people. Flesh is murder.
He's a kale one.
Oh man, now I just think Flayed Ones are like PETA representatives. But yeah, I love their
Do you like it when I wear your skin? Ah.
I love Flayed Ones, the look of them. There's some amazing conversions out there as well. The description, the backstory of the units here is like tragic to me, like as the Necrons in general, as they were tricked into being these robotic slaves. And these dudes are like, no, it's all good. I'll just staple some skin back onto my face and see, I'm normal. I'm good.
I'm back to flesh.
I'm back to flesh. Also, they're really good. Like overcosted a little bit,
They've got some cool rules going on.
but they got
actually.
They have some unique rules to them that you don't spot a lot in the Necron Codex in general.
Right.
And I think that's what's important. They fill a very unique slot that some people might not be expecting.
So, I'm not expecting it, John. So why don't you go ahead and tell us your list?
Oh shit! I got to start. Let me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, if my list is going to suck, I want it to go last.
Hey, so I'm not super familiar with the stratagems and things like that there, so I went for just one Outrider detachment.
I'm sorry, what?
I went for a single Outrider detachment.
Okay.
In 1,500 points?
1,500 points.
Yikes.
So with a total of 4 command points.
Okay.
I took Anriker the Traveler as an HQ.
Oh, that's a cool choice.
But my Warlord is a Destroyer Lord.
No, he's angry.
Yeah, he's very angry. He has a virus. There's a lot of viruses going on in these Necrons. For a metal army, there's a lot of health issues with them. Next up, I have 2 units of 19 Flayed Ones.
Wow. Okay.
Followed up by 3 units of 9 Scarabs.
Are you sure this isn't a Vanguard? No, you have 3 units of Scarabs?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
3 units of 9 Scarabs, and then a single Caneptic Spider.
All right. So
1,500 points.
Oh, you said Outrider. Okay.
Yeah. Because they're fast.
AF. Got it.
Fast AF. The idea is Flayed Ones come down. Anriker the Traveler, he gives some great buffs if you charge. Or charge, so it's going to be +1 to hit. So you have a whole shitload of attacks coming in. I think he gives +1 attack as well, right, Danny?
Within 3 inches.
Within 3 inches. So if he charges in with the Flayed Ones, he's given +1 attack for, I think, a total of an extra 38 attacks between them. So this unit is throwing out about almost 110 attacks that are rerolling to hit when they stay within the Destroyer Lord, who's going to have the Warlord trait of implacable Conqueror, and because of the Flayed One claws are rerolling to wound. So 100 plus attacks, rerolling to hit, rerolling to wound, hitting on 2s.
That's pretty cool.
It's all a giant gimmick. It's Scarabs run up the board, eat everything. Spiders there to kind of just be a spider.
Yep.
But it kind of really rests on 2 giant units of Flayed Ones being massively buffed up and kind of getting into combat there.
Sure.
Smirt.
I like it.
All right. What about you, Danny?
No.
Oh, I'm
we're going to go Dave.
I'm last.
Yeah.
Damn it.
You remember how this goes, right?
No.
The guy who
Because I
actually
get to judge your lists.
Yeah, the guy who
Before
actually
you give us your list?
Yeah.
Okay.
we got
And
a,
I-
My list has a tremendous gimmick as well.
we
so-
got a system.
I've got a mild gimmick.
All right, let's hear it.
All right. So I have 2 detachments. I've got a Vanguard detachment.
Oh, look at this guy with 2 fucking detachments.
Right.
Thinking
Well,
he's
the
a
other
boss.
The other one's just kind of a give me some CP detachment. So I've got in the Vanguard detachment, I've got a Cryptek with the Nightmare Shroud and the Canoptic Cloak. I have 3 units of Flayed Ones, 2 of 10 and 1 of 5.
Okay.
Though I am rethinking the 5, but I ran out of time. And then 1 unit of 3 Canoptic Wraiths.
Okay.
So this is my close combat unit.
And what
John said.
dynasty are these of?
This is Novoka.
The real reason I chose Necrons was to make Dave pronounce
Yeah.
quasi-Egyptian names.
Yeah, you're a dick. They're the dynasty that allows you to reroll failed hit rolls in the fight phase for units with this code. If they were charged, do charge or perform heroic intervention.
Oh, that was also my dynasty.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then the battalion that I've got is Mefrit with two regular lords, nothing fancy, and then 3 units of 20 times Necron warriors. Because big units of Necron warriors are tough to kill off the table. In theory, I mean, if they got to pass the reanimation protocols, and they come roaring back.
Like in my head, I'm like, shit, how did you fit 660 points of warriors in your list? And I'm like, oh wait, you didn't try and max out a very expenth type of unit in Flayed Ones.
It just has to be a dash of the ingredient, John. It doesn't have to be the whole list.
I'm with you, John. They're very expensive because I thought about it doing as big as possible unit as possible.
But I feel like it's like if that's the secret ingredient, it's like if the secret ingredient was steak and you were told to make a steak dish and you're like, here's a salad with
First
a side.
No, the secret ingredient is never steak. It would be something like turmeric. You have to put enough that it's noticed.
Bless you, Dave.
You did.
All right, so in my Vanguard detachment, I've got the Canoptic Cloak, which gives him the fly ability. Just basically he's already there. He can give extra wounds back to living metal models.
Sure.
And then the Nightmare Shroud is, your save is increased by 1. In addition, you subtract leadership while they're within 6 inches. That's not what I thought I had.
It's also a really good Megadeth
Were you thinking
song.
of the Veil of Darkness?
I meant to grab the Veil of Darkness then.
Okay.
Veil of Darkness is the one that allows you to teleport a unit. So he could be like, let's go. And he just grabs one of the squads and throws them in the face of the enemy.
Okay.
Is my plan. Also, not having direct access to the Codex since it's literally the only one that I don't own.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that.
I think if you... okay.
So I wasn't familiar at all with whatever stratagems I could go with. I had to go with what I knew off of the fan-driven content. So, hoping my list is mostly accurate. So anyway, I came out to 1491 on mine.
All right.
Danny.
So, let's talk about your list before I talk about my list.
My list? Why are you looking at me?
So let's talk about John's list first.
Yeah, talk about it.
Let me just make sure. How big are your Necron? How big are the Flayed One squads?
2 units and 19.
19. Okay, that's a lot. And what was your HQ? It was Anrakir, the Traveler?
Yep, and a Destroyer Lord.
Okay. Yeah, those are both pretty decent. Although the Destroyer Lord doesn't really have any synergy with the rest of your list, it seems like, maybe.
It's just to kind of speed up him because he's the warlord of the unit, and the warlord trait is to reroll charges.
Oh, okay.
His idea is to YOLO up the table and make sure the Flayed Ones get into combat.
That's not bad. Yeah, I could see that.
And he was like the cheapest, fastest unit.
And then, so it was 3 units of Scarabs as well?
Yep.
And that was it?
Yeah, and a spider.
Oh, 1 spider.
One spider, 27 Scarab bases.
Oh, 27 Scarab bases.
So it's 3 units of 9 bases of Scarabs.
That's a lot of Scarabs. Interesting. Okay, hold on. I have to think about
so,
this.
I mean, the idea for me...
Because, like, right off the bat, I thought Dave's list was a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to reconsider that.
Stop
That's
talking.
A lot of
just
ones.
stop talking. So just end it here. This segment's over. Run the ad.
But, okay, for me, like, the idea behind mine is just you rush the Scarabs up the field. Now, you keep the Flayed Ones off the table in reserve. Rush the Scarabs up the field. That's irritating as shit to clear. You have the spider behind them trying to kind of repair and kind of shit at little Scarabs. And then they clear out enough space where the Flayed Ones can come down, and by that point your Destroyer Lord and the Traveler are in good enough position that they can buff the Flayed Ones to go into combat and make mincemeat out of pretty much whatever they touch.
Man, this is really hard.
Because they both
What about
suck.
the lists?
I mean, we're talking about Necron, so yeah, my dick is just like an iron
I mean,
rod.
I will be the first to admit my list is a one-trick pony, and when you figure that trick out...
Like the minute they look at your list.
Well, burn. Let's just hope I play you and you wouldn't be able to figure it out.
Danny's got all these models. We could just make him give them to us.
I do not have that many fucking Scarabs or Flayed Ones. I don't even have enough Flayed Ones for my list because they're so hard to find. Like I have 6 metal ones. That's the extent of the Flayed Ones that I own. Okay. Well, okay, that's a really interesting list, John, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, that's a lot of Scarabs.
So the only thing that stopped me from not taking more was a rule of 3, and that's why there's a spider in there. And honestly, that's why there's a Destroyer Lord in there, because otherwise it would just literally be Flayed Ones and Scarabs.
All right, so let's talk about Dave's list while I'm pondering this. Dave, I like the addition of the warriors. So you have 60 warriors, is that right? And then you have 2 Necron lords.
Yep.
So that's an interesting choice. Why wouldn't you put a Necron lord in with the Novoke detachment and 1 in with the Mephrit detachment?
Well, because I needed 2 in the Mephrit.
Well,
and I wanted to. So, in order to take a relic, it has to be in the same detachment as your warlord, right? And I wanted to give it to the fastest moving model on it that I had, the cloak, so that I could get, moving around the board.
You wanted to give the fastest moving model a teleport.
Yeah. A group teleport, a grab and teleport to move stuff to where I need it. So, if he needs to move a unit of regular guys across the table, he can.
So, I think he's a really good choice if you're going to take. I think he's a good choice to hang out with the warriors.
Really?
Yeah, because Cryptex give a +1 to reanimation protocols for units within 6.
Mm-hmm.
And since you have 60 warrior models, they're going to be the units that get, they're going to get the units that are killed most often, and you're going to want to bring them back on a 4 instead of a 5.
Okay.
I don't know. That would be my choice.
I mean, it was one of those open choices.
I like that your list is pretty generic. It's actually a pretty well-rounded list. It does stuff. It doesn't kill a knight. That's probably the weakness of your list, and I would say that's probably a weakness of Necron.
Linton's dice. I will kill a knight. That'll be fine.
Let's get into combat round 1.
But yeah, I mean, it was one of those things where I had, I had to go off of what I knew about Necrons,
Sure.
and I knew that large units of regular troops are good. Large units of any of them in large amounts is good.
I mean,
so
Necron warriors are probably less good than Immortals,
right? But they also cost less, so that I could fit the hyper expensive choice ingredient that John had, the apparent black truffle, black diamond.
The
truffle
black diamond truffle.
Jesus,
it's a very unique palette you need.
All right, so let's talk about my list, and I think that I incorporate pieces from both of yours into my list,
as is tradition,
as it is written.
Before you talk about the list, before you talk about your list, which list won?
Okay, so the list that I would probably play is Dave's list.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I would probably play
Did you
Dave's
get that
list.
sound effect queued up? The loud cheering fans?
No, I have because you were joking, right?
Close enough.
But I think John's list has some interesting potential for play. I think that there's some play there. So that's kind of a cool list. Plus, John has some cool stuff where he can use Anrakir to give a squad my will be done. And that's something that your list doesn't have. And what that does is it gives them +1 to their charge distances, which is huge for a deep striking unit.
Well, deep striking unit with a very shitty movement.
So I did debate, instead of just one regular lord, also doing an overlord.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to keep the size units that I had. So it was one of those. Because an overlord gives the exact same. It gives my will be done. So, I could get the same thing without spending for an overpointed.
Well, you'd have to take him with the Novoke detachment because he can only buff dynasty units. All right, so my list. Let's talk about that.
Yep.
Yeah, let's talk about
my list is a 1 battalion. It's a Sawtech battalion.
Okay.
So my HQs, I have Imatech. And so the reason I chose Imatech is Imatech has some really great utility. First of all, he can buff 2 units with +1 to hit with my will be done, as long as they're both Sawtech units.
Okay.
He gives +1 command point, so it doesn't matter that I have 1 detachment, whereas normally I'd probably play with 2, to be honest.
Yeah.
And he's also got an extra wound, and he heals D3 damage every single turn. So he's really tough and hard to get rid of, and he has a really great D6 mortal wounds shot per game, which is cool. The other thing that he has is blood nano scarab swarms. Blood swarm nano scarabs, necro scarabs. Sorry,
40k midichlorians.
Right, there you go. And so what those do is they allow Flayed One units within 12 inches of him to reroll 1s to hit.
Okay,
that's just a rule he has. He just gives a bonus to Flayed Ones.
I mean, it makes sense. I was actually looking through the codex for a character that buff Flayed Ones.
Isn't there
specifically?
Don't the regular lords allow rerolls of 1
to wound?
To wound.
No, to hit. And with Flayed Ones, you're rerolling wounds anyway.
In combat, yeah. So I've got him. I've got 2 units of 10 Immortals with Tesla and 1 unit of 5 with Tesla. Okay. I have 2 Doomsday Arcs to give myself a little bit of.
Danny, it's only 1,500 points. You know that, right?
Yeah, Doomsday Arcs are only 160 points.
They're pretty cheap.
Yeah,
they're not expensive.
Stupid cheap for no reason.
And then
you can get 2 Doomsday Arcs for the cost of 19 Flayed Ones.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, no, that's almost exactly. Yeah, that's
I know because I'm looking at my list right now.
And so then I have a couple of Elites choices. I also have a Cryptek with a Chronometron. And what that does is it gives a 5-up invulnerable save to my units within 3 inches of him against shooting attacks, which is really useful for keeping the Immortals alive if they don't have cover, or if I'm close to the Flayed Ones, which is part of my gimmick, which involves the last 2 units. My gimmick is I have the Deceiver, the Satan Shard, the Deceiver, and I have 19 Flayed Ones in a unit.
Okay.
So how this works is the Deceiver has a rule called Grand Illusion, where he can redeploy up to D3 units 12 inches away from your opponent.
Well, dang.
Actually, it might be 9. Let me look real quick. I haven't actually used him this edition. But.
Yeah, use my thinking music for Necrons.
Yeah, 12 inches from enemy models. And so he also has Satan powers and stuff like that. But what I can do is I can teleport him and the Cryptek, or him and Imhotep, up the table, so they're in the middle of the table to start the game, along with the Deceiver. And so the Deceiver's a character with less than 10 wounds, so he gets shielded by the Flayed Ones. I pop the +1 to charge.
How are the Flayed Ones getting there on the first turn?
I don't deep strike them.
No, I mean,
well, you're
taking Cryptek, Imhotep, and him up the table.
So he takes himself,
right,
the Deceiver. Then I always take the Flayed Ones.
Okay, you didn't say the Flayed Ones in that list.
Sorry,
so.
And then if I can, it'll be Imhotep and then the Cryptek as well.
Okay,
for units. And so, and Imhotep doesn't really have to go because it's a 12-inch aura. So if I advance him on the first turn, there's a good chance he's going to still be in range of them.
I mean, unless you roll 1s.
Yeah, sure. Fair enough. Anyway.
That's your comeback to everything, Dave.
Unless you roll 1s.
So them getting a 5-inch move and then a 2d6 plus 1 inch assault on the first turn is pretty good, I think. And it would probably be pretty hard to kill them, especially if I have a building to hide them in the start of the game. I
had forgotten that Flayed Ones have the deep strike capabilities. So
they get a free deep strike if they want.
Mm-hmm. So that's why I had that Cryptek in there, so that he'd be able to get up there if his ship was like, whoops, we need to get out of here. Foomp, he could get up there with as fast as he was and pick them up and move them away.
Sure.
So because knowing me, I'll deep strike in the wrong place like an idiot and be in trouble.
And so Flayed Ones have 3 attacks apiece. If they have My Will Be Done on them from Imhotep or from
an Overlord.
From an Overlord in general, or Anrakir or whatever. They get a 2+ weapon skill. Imhotep lets them reroll 1s to hit, so they're hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s, and then rerolling all failed twin rolls. And so you can also spend 1 CP for disruption fields on their close combat attacks to give them strength 5. So then they have, like, a unit of 19 puts out something stupid like 57 attacks, hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s, and then strength 5, so wounding on whatever on
3s rerolling.
3s, or even a knight is on 5s rerolling.
Yeah.
Which is like 55%. So you're looking at, like, if you got them all into melee against a knight, I think they take it down. Or they really hurt it pretty hard.
Drop it down a couple levels anyway.
And the nice thing about Novoke on your guys' list, which is powerful, is that you guys can fight twice with your Flayed One units, which is or the Wraiths, which is really good.
Yeah.
So.
I said my list revolves just throwing massive amounts of dice. But listening to Dave's is like, man, I should have put a Cryptek in there to increase their
to bring them back,
to increase
it's
their reanimation
really powerful,
protocol. Because Flayed One's coming back on a 4.
Yeah, yeah. So they kill you down to 2 guys. You go, okay, well, I'll spend 2 in auto pass, and now I'll roll all of these dice, and on 4s I get back models to my unit,
which now have 4 attacks each that are just it's. I mean, looking at it, we're talking, and we're beforehand when we'd made our list, and Dan's like, oh yeah, let me make my list real quick, and I'm like, man, I didn't realize the Flayed Ones were so expensive, and Dan's like, no, they're not, and he's like, oh yeah, they are super expensive. But I think it comes from a place where if they're kind of built around or specced around, they can, like you said, they can take down in a single night in like one turn.
It's a lot of saves they're going to make him take.
Yeah.
Because they're probably going to make him take 30 saves.
Right.
And cocky bastard's going to do it on a 3-up instead of...
Well, and it's like people aren't expecting Flayed Ones to be like... I mean, they're almost like the butt joke of the Necron book, which is honestly why I chose them here. Because it's like, yeah, we could do like make a, with a Scarab or a Wraith or kind of other units, and then we're just going to get the same old kind of Necron list that we're going to get. But the Flayed Ones are just such a cool looking model, cool looking backstory. Yep. Something that can be really spec'd around to just totally surprise someone.
And so, for our meta, we play with there's a lot of enclosed buildings in our meta.
Mm-hmm.
And so having an infantry unit that can assault units inside of a building to stop them from scoring objectives or things like that, especially ones that can deep strike, is a really, really powerful ability and not to be overlooked. And so building clearing is an important function of Flayed Ones. And I think that you can really... I think they can really do work in the ITC format in particular.
Can't Wraiths also assault into the building and clear it because they've got the weird... So kind of. They can move into the building, but they can't assault through the wall. So if they move inside of it, then they can assault during their...
Right.
But if they
can't get there though, then they're boned.
Ribbed.
Yeah, no.
For your pleasure.
Can you imagine being an infantry unit? You're like, oh, we got so sweet. We're just going to be in here.
Dude, let's make some coffee.
We got this objective.
Tea. Because they're English, of course.
Well, here's the deal, right?
Gulliman's outside leading everybody around. We got this.
Your infantry
unit Wraith just pops up in the doorway. Like,
see, the way I see
what's
it
up, buddy?
is the Wraith kind of just pops through the wall, but has to spend like a few minutes kind of gathering itself. And it's like, okay, I'm inside. I didn't know what was here, so I couldn't charge or assault or be scary, but I'm here. That's fine. Where did everyone go? They're like, great, I have to charge out of this building again, and I can't assault anyone.
That's too funny.
It's too good. Too good.
Just those electric whips.
Well, Dave, I believe we're 1-1 in Plastic Generals now.
No.
Because I won the last one. You won this one.
Yeah, but we have had 3 of them.
Oh, that's true. We had the original.
Oh, who was the original? Was that Dave too? That was Dave as well, I think.
Man, I don't remember. I think it was a tie.
Therefore, making it null and void.
All right, so next one is the championship.
Next one is the championship, and I can't even remember what I put down
course,
for
if you will.
The dessert.
We've done the appetizer. We've done the main course. Next, we have dessert.
I feel like the Flayed Ones might have actually been closer to like a crudité or something.
That's right. Yeah.
Bloody frickin' da. Crudité. I'm sorry I didn't go to culinary school, Dave. I don't know that reference.
Yeah, well, my culinary degree is working great for me. I'm on the 5th rated 40K podcast based out of Alaska.
Wait, I was going to correct you until you said based out of Alaska because we're one of 2.
Good qualifier.
Good qualifier. We're going to take a break. We're going to be right back. We're going to talk about some Warhammer heroes.
Oh, okay.
Of the unknown known variety.
Okay.
Do you like cookies but want something more British? Buy biscuits. Not like those you have for gravy. British biscuits. For dunking in your British tea. Stiff upper lip guaranteed. Biscuits, as recommended by Queen Liz of the Britons.
And we're back. Hey, so I posted a non-controversial, controversial kind of opinion on Twitter.
Why would you? How brave of you to say something so controversial?
How can I say something so brave yet so controversial?
Yeah, or whatever it is.
And mainly, it wasn't kind of. The divisive, it was bad, but the divisive part, because I said that it was a divisive thing that John Blanche was amazing, pretty much. Right? Because I'm a big fan of his art. Danny, you're not as much.
I'm a fan of his art because it's what drew me into Warhammer in the first place.
So that's the divisive part. But people took it as just like me saying that he was responsible for shaping 40K. What was the divisive thing? That wasn't what I was meaning by the divisive thing. It was mainly John Blanche is amazing. I love his art. If it wasn't for his art, I wouldn't be playing 40K.
Ugh.
But that got me into thinking.
Keep it together, Danny.
I'm trying. I'm doing my fucking best. He ruined the Demon's Codex.
With his...
What, because of the art?
Yeah. Don't get me started. We won't start that conversation because it's one we've had before.
Save it for your anti-John Blanche podcast that is every third
It's my
Wednesday.
solo project.
It's a solo project. It's called Blanchise No. But it got me thinking, okay, I mean, GW's done a really good job kind of celebrating the community and like the Warhammer Heroes Awards going out.
Sure.
And kind of like celebrating kind of leaders in the community. But it had me thinking.
Or people who just get the most votes. I mean, they're well deserved.
I mean,
don't get me wrong. I think they're well deserved.
Dave's not bitter at all. I mean, that's
I didn't get
blatantly
nominated,
clear.
but I nominated the shit out of John. I paid $5 to every person that lives in Alaska to nominate John.
For me?
Yeah.
No.
I nominated one other person from our community.
Yeah.
That was good.
What? You monster.
Yeah, I nominated Nate.
Yeah.
Oh, that's worthwhile.
Yeah. But anyway, so there's a ton of internal people at GW who I think deserve like a ton of credit, obviously, for bringing GW to where it was today.
Agreed.
Ever since in the last 20 years or so, they've shifted to a model of this was produced by the design studio rather than kind of like individual things. I think after the Matt Ward situation.
Well, Ward, Credence, and Thorpe, honestly, like, and undeservedly for Gav, but like the other two were a little suspect sometimes.
But it is throwing Gav Thorpe under the bus.
I would never do that, sir. He made my favorite Warhammer book of all time.
Which book was that?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought you were going to...
Oh, sorry. No, it was the 7th edition Dark Elf book for fantasy. He wrote that, and it was a fucking masterpiece and broken as shit, but it was a fucking masterpiece.
That's why
there it is.
There we go. Okay.
But like, it was so...
It won every game.
It had so many cool choices and combinations.
Never lost for 2 years straight.
I mean, yeah, what else is new?
Yeah.
Oh boy, Danny's at peak ego right now. But yeah, so we moved away from that because what started happening was there would be like an announcement like, oh, there's a new Tyranid Codex coming, and people would be like, yay.
Who wrote it?
And then Credis is writing it. Fuck. And this is like before any rules, models, like anything was announced. Like people would just start shitting on things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then GW as a company moved to created by the design studio,
which is the way they should have gone from the fucking
makes
start.
Fucking sense because there's like when you're dealing with our community, there's a lot of egos involved. There's a lot of, and man, if you think I'm talking about you, I'm not, because you're a wonderful listener. But there's a lot of small people that get to be big personalities and big people within this community, and that brings out the worst in some people. So when they're hearing, oh, I have an opinion of this.
We doing this intervention right now? Shit. Danny, we asked you here.
But I mean, you guys know what I mean, right?
No, Dave, I don't want to. I can't stop myself.
It's like it's a weird level that you get kind of from fandom from 40K.
It does. You do. You really do. And it's not just necessarily 40K, but Age of Sigmar and any of the game systems. If you become good in the game system, next thing you know, you're running a behind the paywall training session for because you won an LVO once,
Even if you're bad at it and you don't know what you're talking about, you have your own website that just promotes top 10 lists.
And you can...
Do I got to click here to find out?
I mean...
Yes, Dave, that's how this all works.
That's how it works. That's how I get my money. God damn it. But there's a lot of people and a lot of kind of...
He doesn't listen.
There's a whole thing about this going on right now, too, where they did some reporting this weekend. I don't know. I don't want to name names directly, but like... Yeah.
Rick Priestley.
No. They reported there was collusion at the Beef and Wing GT at the top table.
Okay, first off, collusion at the Beef and Wing sounds delicious.
I'm sure it is.
It's
delicious.
my favorite murder mystery weekend.
I remember that episode of Murder, She Wrote
that I have ever attended.
Oh, Angela Lansbury, what a hottie.
But yeah, so collusion, no collusion.
No.
Dave, listeners can't see you put your finger in front of your face.
Yeah, he's like sitting here looking up, thinking hard about Angela Lansbury and what she looks like naked.
If we did this in video
I don't
form,
think hard about that.
It would be hilarious.
That's seared into my memory forever.
Thanks, Mom.
Red knobs and broomsticks, man.
Oh man.
So hot. Anyway.
But yeah, there's a ton of people who have and do work for GW that deserve a ton of credit for getting kind of 40K to where it is now.
Absolutely.
We live in this kind of
gold. Dranfield.
We live in this golden age, and
what are we doing right now? Are we talking about them? Oh,
yeah. Well, I'm still setting up. That's
I thought
fine.
I just needed to start screaming names.
I know I told you,
Jonathan England.
I know that I told you that I wasn't editing, but that doesn't mean you can just derail me like right away.
I mean,
that's exactly what that meant.
To be honest, we probably owe Dave a couple of derails.
That's fair.
We do it to him
a lot,
constantly.
Fair,
yeah,
very fair. I can't even remember what I was saying anymore, Dave. So good job. That's quality.
You've ruined it forever.
Quality derail.
All right, so that's the end of this segment.
Yep.
And for mob rules,
we were talking about.
Oh, so no. What I'm saying is, we're at a place now. We're almost on the 17th of June. It's going to be the second anniversary of 8th edition, which is crazy to think that it's only been 2 years.
Oh my God, it's been a fucking whirlwind.
For me, it's crazy to think it's actually been 2 years.
Right. So we have this great kind of
all of the codexes.
It
finally
still
been
feels
released.
It still feels super new.
It does, doesn't it?
It does because they keep editing it and they keep making changes that make the game change, which brings it back to being and giving that new feel because you have to relearn how to do what you're doing, unless you're playing the exact same list from the start and just not care about it. So
Adam, no, but. So it's been 2 years. We have this great edition. We have this appearance of GW being this great interactive company. They're reaching out more. They're advertising stuff coming out. They're kind of treating White Dwarf as like a serious thing. They're taking feedback and kind of making these changes. But it didn't just arrive there overnight. And kind of there was many, there's been a black ship of creative people going to the golden throne of GW to sacrifice themselves for the continuing of Warhammer 40K.
If I may.
You may
steal another UK type reference. It's almost as though the GW Chocolate Factory previously, and then they put out some golden tickets, and now Charlie has won the Chocolate Factory and is running the GW Chocolate Factory perfectly well for us and giving us everything we want.
Yeah.
Instead of
for our Australian listeners, translation would be crikey.
No, it's sorry. No, it's actually didgeridoo.
Didgeridoo don't.
Didgeridoo don't.
Oh
no,
God.
Dave. I didgeridoo.
Oh.
But yeah, so Dave, so who is someone that you say is kind of integral to Warhammer 40,000 being where it is?
Now, when you broached this subject,
Sure.
when you were
You
talking
mean
about
integral?
No, I don't. I was still speaking Australian. It's hard to get back from that language.
When you broached the subject of this in the chat, you're like, hey, 1,500 point Necron list, you need Flayed Ones. And I went, God damn it. And then you said, oh, and also, and then we started talking about John Blanche and who other people could be that influenced. I went to that same era. Now, are you wanting people that are newer than that? Because if so, I brought the completely wrong book.
You know what? I want anyone. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's just like, it's Warhammer's been around for about, what, 35 years now? 35 years?
1983.
1983. So yeah, 36 years.
Well, 87 is the first printing of the Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader rulebook.
But fantasy has been around for longer.
So there's been
it wasn't full on fantasy though, Danny.
But I mean, there's been a lot of people involved and a lot of kind of hands to kind of get us there.
It was more models that you could use to play fantasy with, but that really was designed more towards just being like standoff models to use in your D&D games, because during that time period they were sculpting models for that.
Sure, but they did have rules to go along with the game that they produced.
Rules that were provided for free to sell the miniatures.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I definitely have a book that's older than
I have
Trader.
a book too that's older than Rogue Trader, Danny. I'm fucking
called
200
the
years
Bible,
old. Okay.
right?
It's called the Bible. You son of a bitch!
It's a first edition. Thank you. It's handwritten.
Dear 8-pound, 5-ounce baby Jesus.
All right. Well,
Sorry, let's talk about your idols, Dave. Your contemporaries.
Even just one of them. Well,
because you listed off a bunch of people, and then so people to me that other than John Blanche that helped bring us into 40. So I owe a lot to Rick Priestley.
Sure.
Because
I mean, I think the entire company does for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's the one that wrote and got us all started down the path. John Blanche's art is amazing, and let's be honest, not a lot of people might have picked up the book if it hadn't, wouldn't have picked up Rogue Trader if it hadn't been for John Sibick, who did the cover art for it. That fantastic Last Stand iconic picture.
It's a good picture.
So, I mean, that's people that I think that are important. But like I said, those are long old. In fact, I think they might all be dead. In fact, I was surprised to hear that John Blanche was actually still alive the other day and painting with contrast.
Rick Priestley actually still works for GW.
He's 200% dead,
I believe.
Oh, really? I thought he had his own company. I thought he did Warlord.
A few of them left, I think. But for some reason,
the Perry twins left.
Oh man!
Oh no, he left in 2010.
Also, iconically, the Perry twins were on my list of people because their sculpts brought amazing models to life.
I remember reading The White Dwarf where one of them lost a hand in a tragic cannon reenactment accident, and then learned to sculpt with his other hand. What a fucking badass!
And got better than he was before. Yeah,
seriously. So he had like a miniature hook, like hand, like apparatus that he could hold sculpts with.
Yeah,
first off, that just seems like gaming the system. I mean, if you don't have shaky hands because you've got a nice steady,
you have a nice steady stump,
you got a tripod stump. I shouldn't laugh. That's tragic, but I mean, think about it. It's the difference between trying to paint a model with your hands versus having a Citadel butt plug. So,
we can only go so far, Dave. Sometimes you fly as close as you can to the sun, and your wings don't melt. You fall and die.
Thanks, not Icarus, I guess?
Or you don't stick your hand in front of a cannon.
Well, I mean, none of us were there. We don't know the exact scenario. He could have been running to stop the shooting of the cannon because it was going to blow up a baby or something.
Or he plugs it up to stop it from
what's crazy?
Hitting a bunch of people. I don't know.
Yeah. I remember reading that White Dwarf where they announced it, and I was like heavy into Warhammer Fantasy at the time, and like I had a Bretonnian army, and I'm like, shit. Because they were both really good sculptors as well. But the quality he's pulling out, it's like that... was it the Megadeth drummer? No, it was Def Leppard's drummer.
Yeah, you mean the drummer with only one arm?
Yeah. He relearned, and like the amount of dedication it takes to do that. But
amazing.
Those two were really integral, I think, to fantasy development and kind of the modern fantasy look up until it got Age of Sigmarized.
Sure. Yeah. No, I agree with that
because they were heavy in the Dogs of War stuff, right?
Yeah, they did a lot of the humans.
I didn't really care for the Dogs of War stuff that much. But then,
man, it was good.
I
think
the sculpt wise, I prefer my models to be a little less busy. And I've said this before. Like I purposely leave off tons of extra pouches and other shit like that off of models when I'm converting them up or building them, just because I just don't feel like you need to carry your entire life story with you into battle. Now, fantasy, that not necessarily, this is 40K. So after battle, you're either alive or you're dead. So you go back to the place you got all your shit and call it a day. Whereas fantasy, you were campaigning around the world for a while. I got that. It was also the reason that I played undead in that, because skeletons didn't have shit.
Hey, I'm going to throw one out here real quick. Mm-hmm. This is Danny. You'll probably get this one. Warwick Kinraid.
Oh, yeah. That guy had really spiky hair, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Warwick, he wasn't with GW for like a super long time, looks like. He mainly worked with Forge World. He was responsible for the first 3 or 4 Imperial Armor books.
Which is cool.
Which is cool. I mean, and that's a big deal. He kind of brought these miniatures and kind of helped with the first little growth of Forge World. Left to do bolt action. That's kind of...
admirable. Yeah, it's
admirable. And it's a good game system. But he was kind of one of the ones responsible for kind of bringing Forge World away from Armorcast,
Yeah.
Or kind of things like that.
Armorcast is where it's at, dog.
Oh, for sure.
I need me a Falcon Grav Tank.
For sure, but it's like Forge World went through the same journey.
So bad.
They went through the same kind of journey that GW did, where like they started GW with 40K like Rogue Trader, and then Warhammer 40K with the second edition. We see the armies kind of getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and kind of the focus on larger units rather than kind of singular models. We see kind of Forge World make this same journey at this when it starts to kind of where it progresses. We go from them just kind of making these super heavy tanks and giant models to kind of starting to produce units and rules and kind of things like that too.
I mean, bad rules, but still.
It's
no, not well.
There's some
Most
unique
of their
challenges.
Rules are bad. Okay, let's be honest. They don't synergize well with a lot of stuff. John, Danny can't have any booze. All right?
I tried to catch it with my mouth and I failed, John.
I threw it on him. But yeah, so Warwick and Raid, that would be my first one there. Danny, why don't you tell us some stuff?
So my pick, if I were to pick somebody, would be Jess Goodwin.
Yeah.
So
good
like
choice.
his so many of his sketches and stuff for so many years have actually become models. Either he sculpted them or somebody else has sculpted them based on his sketches or his ideas. And he's been responsible for like the best model ranges that Games Workshop has ever produced, in my opinion.
Which ones are those?
So the Dark Eldar model range, like he was heavily responsible for that total redo, and the redo on those models is unbelievably good.
When you say, did you say Dark Elves or Dark Eldar?
Dark Eldar.
Okay, so from super, super spiky bladed armor panels to not super, super spiky bladed
Well, I mean, he
panels?
designed the first ones too, but like the resculpts were all smooth and like sharp.
Without just everything has a spike on it, like it's
Right.
like a
Shitty Christmas tree, or
I was gonna say, well, this is gonna sound offensive, but like a 10-year-old designed it. Oh, I'm gonna make this model, and he needs all these blades on him so he can slice and slice them.
I just think he was designing it, and
But
then he took it in for approval, and they were like, more spikes. And then
he put a spike on each hip.
For a joke, he was like, yeah, here's fucking 80 spikes. And the guy's like, perfect. He's like, wait, no.
Well, and they had different.
And then his head, I can't wait to redesign these in 20 years.
Well, like, and the sketches for the original models look different than the models that they actually produced because they had a different sculptor. Like, he didn't sculpt those models.
No.
So,
like, I think still to this day, Jess Goodwin is kind of one of the concept artists for GW.
He does so much work for figuring out like what the new look is going to be of various things. So yeah, like he's high in my mind as being really influential. Yeah, I would say for the look and feel of the company.
You know what? I'm going to throw another one out there for look and feel. Adrian Smith.
Okay, Adrian Smith. Yeah, he's pretty good. He's a pretty good artist, right? He's an artist, right? That's not the guy. That's the
orc guy. So I believe it's Adrian Smith. He redesigns the orc range.
God, no, it's somebody different. I think, man. Sorry.
No, it's a problem. Look it up there. Well, I mean, he did great art too, but I thought it was Adrian. But one person redesigned the orc range
for October or for
for when the Boys kit came out. So I think it's like 4th edition or something, and it moved third edition, and it went away from really shit. It's 20 years old. Yeah. Anyway,
dude. Yeah.
They moved away from being
Berserkers.
these kind of campy clowns or kind of like jesters or kind of ridiculous orcs.
I liked the ridiculous orcs, but okay.
But it wasn't fitting kind of with the tone of the game and as it was moving, because you had these kind of murder sex perverts versus Dark Angels and the Dark Eldar versus Dark Angels box, right, for 3rd edition. And you're creating and crafting this world, and it's growing.
Was it Dark Eldar or Dark Angels? I thought it was still Ultramarines for
the third edition box was Dark Eldar
versus Ultramarines.
Yeah, but anyway, it was kind of like you have like these like pervy sex, like kinky pleasure people, and it's kind of growing and evolving. And then you look over here and you have like a grot hitting a rocket a bunch, and maybe it took it away from the campiness. So some of it's still there. Like if you look at the Shock Attack gun model, like even the
new one,
even the older one, right, where the redesign where it came out in the Finecast.
Oh no, you got to go older than that. I had a metal Shock Attack one.
Sure. But it's kind of even like the little details, like some of the camp is still there. So you have like the snotling bag still, and you have all the other things like that on the model, but it's bigger, it's beefier, it's more brutal. Even the old Finecast Mega Knobs are kind of more square in the chin. This came really from the fantasy orc redesign, where like you had kind of a really great metal war boss on a warbot, and you had all these orc redesigns coming, and it was a more gritty kind of reimagining, which I hate in movies but love in models.
Yeah, see, fantasy orcs were always more serious. I mean, they were still kind of.
I think it was Brian Nelson.
Brian Nelson. It was Brian Nelson,
not Austin Smith.
No,
whoever you
Adrian
said.
Smith.
Adrian Smith. Adrian Smith did the art.
I thought Adrian Smith was like the war boss. And like he helped design the rules for the 3rd edition orcs to make them like actually fighty instead of like just guard stats. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
But anyway, Brian Nelson, you're so now it's in my head, man. It's just if we ever prove that we don't know what we're talking about, this is the segment to do it.
You don't know what you're talking about. Danny and I haven't been wrong yet. So.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Danny's even corrected me, so it's even better. But yeah, Brian Nelson, he brought that kind of grittier style to orcs and kind of helped advance the range past it made it kind of more Matrix, less some other shitty movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
More Matrix 1 and less Matrix 3.
Yeah.
Because his orcs are super iconic for the whole range.
Like right now, if you look at an orc, and if you were to ask someone who's been playing the game a while, what is one of the most iconic orc models?
Don't everybody run out and fucking ask me, okay?
Ask him. 90% of the time, it's going to be a Brian Nelson model.
Yeah. Or at least it was based on.
Or it was based on or inspired by.
Like
Brian,
the new Auric range is a different are different sculptors,
right? But those faces are Brian Nelson faces. They're elongated. His footprint is going to be on Auric or orcs for a long time.
More of a boot print if it's on orcs.
That's fair.
So one of my favorite artists is Wayne England, and he did.
Didn't I scream that name earlier?
Maybe
when I was trying to derail John.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
You successfully derailed John.
Anyway, go ahead. One of your favorite artists.
Or I could talk about Mark Gibson,
go for
too, because he's another one of my favorites.
So Wayne England.
Wayne England does these like really hard line drawings, but they're in all of the old army books and codexes and stuff like that. And he did all of those little... I don't know if you remember them, but like when they would break up paragraphs in some of the old books or page ends and stuff like that, there'd be like a little like heraldic design on like a shield with some crossed weapons or something like that. And they'd have like these really sharp, like straight lines on them. And he did all of those ones. He's like some of the coolest artwork. And he recently passed away, I'm pretty sure.
Last year, yeah.
Which is a shame. And then along with him, Gibson did so many cool pieces of art, and Wayne England did magic cards too. I think.
Oh, yeah, so that's
like the third edition Chaos Space Marine Codex has this picture of a dude with like a rotten face, like he's all like he looks diseased and a little mutated, and like that's inflamed.
It's kind of like the iconic Chaos Space Marine cover.
Totally, I think that in my mind that's.
Yeah,
that's the picture of them.
Yeah, that's who I always imagine as Fabius Bile when somebody says Fabius Bile, and I know that's not Fabius Bile.
And then he's got that picture of the Great Unclean One, like that looks like so fucking cool.
Yes.
Is that the one from the? Oh no, okay.
His Great Unclean One art, I remember being in White Dwarf when they released the quote-unquote new Greater Demons. And they were slowly releasing kind of the metal ones. Like, man, look how cool this is. It was like a little $60 styrofoam box, like pieces of lead you'd have to weld together to hold in place. But that's kind of the art that kind of got inspired by them there.
I completely agree. Sorry, I got distracted by the Rogue Trader book. I'm flipping through it.
How dare you?
I'm seeing all the old art, and it's really taking me back. Sorry.
Oh, well, there's some cool stuff in there, right?
Hey, I'm going to throw one out here.
Go for it.
Matt Ward.
Oh, wow. Okay, interesting.
Okay. He's a very decisive man. I got the right one, though, because everyone hates him still. But
he totally ruined Warhammer Fantasy for me for like 6 months. So
he did. So here's the thing, right? Matt Ward, love him or hate him, a lot of stuff gets focused on how bad the bad stuff, right? At times he can write okay things.
Sure. Absolutely. You're right.
Right. At times he can write really balanced rules.
Listen,
I think the issue was he fulfilled his briefs to exactly what he was told to do. So one of the things it brought up, right, was the Space Marine Codex, where it was kind of redefined the Ultramarines were the fucking best, and all other ones follow them, and they're all looking up to them like, people look at little anime girls. They're just in awe of the Ultramarines and how great they are. And that comes from a place of a boardroom where like, we have like too many pots of Ultramarine blue. Just go make them great. And he hands in his draft like, oh, that's great. You did exactly what we told you to do.
Yeah.
That's where I see that kind of stuff coming through. The other contribution he made is because literally of him, there's no writer credits on codexes anymore.
That's probably true. Well, him and Credence, because people bitched about that Tyranid codex so fucking hard.
Let me get this straight.
Sure.
You're attributing Matt Ward as a classic essential member of the 40K universe because he did exactly what he was told, even whether or not it was good or bad.
I'm going to tell you.
Hold on. No. So basically what you're telling me is that he's literally just he could be the best writer on the face of the planet, but he only does exactly what they want.
Trazon. That's a Matt Ward character. Trazon the Infinite. The world engine for Necrons. Like the stuff he did for the Necron Codex, like fluff-wise, great. I mean, did he make them Space Tomb Kings? Yeah. But honestly, that's way more interesting to me than kind of a random thing like that. Castle and Crow. That's another Matt.
He's pretty cool.
That's another Matt Ward.
Even though that codex was a fucking abomination, that part was cool. And there, you know what? That's why. Excuse me. In my opinion, that's why Grey Knights suck right now, is because of that codex.
They used to be so good.
They still suck because that codex was so broken.
Yeah.
Are you?
I'm not even kidding. They're still paying for it.
Are you telling me that GW is holding such a grudge for how broken it was that's why they got slapped recently in the FAQ for no reason whatsoever?
Maybe
like, Knights, boom, slapped.
No, it wasn't a slap.
Flyers, boom, slapped.
It wasn't a slap on them.
And we fucking took down Grey Knights again.
Well, it's an indirect nerf because they were nerfing other stuff in other books.
Right.
It just happened that Grey Knights follow some of those same rules, so they had to keep them consistent, which is great. They should be doing that stuff.
And I think
it's like how Tau got good again by staying exactly the same.
Matt Ward
changed. Chapter approved. They dropped a bunch of points.
Yep.
And their natural predators in the environment went away.
They did. But Matt Ward
Isn't their natural predator just tons of bolter fire?
The Castellan.
Oh yeah.
That is their everything's natural predator.
I was gonna say that was like the
apex
T-Rex. Yeah.
Well, they nerfed that. They nerfed Doom, Jinx, all of that stuff like contributed to that, like Tau not being as good. Mm-hmm. So
what I'm saying is,
and Yannari's gone.
All right,
Yannari's gone.
So what I'm saying is that Tau, while doing absolutely nothing, I mean, even if they hadn't nerfed him in points or dropped them in points, what I'm saying is Tau became a top, medium to top tier army simply by just staying the same.
Pretty much, yeah.
Because everything else around them got worse.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, but anyway,
we're off track.
That's
Who wrote
fine.
the Tau Codex? He's my fan. I'm this current edition of the Tau Codex.
The GW design team.
Well, that's who I'd like to nominate for this one then, for bringing Tau back from
but I
the
would
brink
say,
of dead.
like I said, for all the good Matt Ward does, like I said, Castle and Crow, the Necron to your background, the stuff about the world engine.
Don't you mean did? Because doesn't he not work for GW anymore?
No, well, you're right, he doesn't. But for all the good he did and all the good he brought, it's kind of completely negated by things like breaking Warhammer Fantasy so bad you needed a new edition to fix it.
Yep.
And people kind of, Blood Angels and Necrons being friends, honestly, is interesting to me. That's
stop.
That's an interesting.
Listen, I'm with John mildly on this. The fact that you know what, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. I could see that once, but not like the bro high five.
Well, I mean that's what the art was depicting, but like
just the
come on,
the
man.
Necron is a power bottom and the Blood Angels
does
a power
it even
top.
need to be a thing? Like,
but then
why?
Because they're both stuck in that set. But anyway, the carving Mortarian's name on his heart. That was a little. So like I said, the good
Sisters of Battle Slaughter.
The good things that he does.
Wasn't that a wrestler in the WWF back in the day?
No, that's Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah, that's close.
Sergeants of Battle Slaughter. Okay.
So like
Sister Superior Slaughter.
It's the problem is the good that he did is overridden by the fact that when he did good, he did really good, but when he did bad, he did really, really bad.
So he was a teeter-totter.
Mm-hmm, for sure. But without
he was either
him,
way up or he was fucked.
Without him, we wouldn't be where we are here.
That's true.
We wouldn't be at your kitchen table?
No.
Probably not.
He's your daddy. What else you got, Dave?
I'd like to end it on that note. Thanks. We'll call it good there.
Okay. Danny, anyone else want to add in there?
Yeah, I really like, was it Mark Gibbons?
Oh,
As an
yeah.
artist.
Good choice.
He's like got some super classic, like that picture that he has of Asmodee.
Yeah.
Here, and I'll show this picture.
Yeah,
briefly.
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's so cool and still
Amazing.
super relevant. Like, looks great. Totally could be in the Dark Angels Codex tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, and that picture. Oh yeah, and the Avatar picture. Man, the Avatar picture made me love the Avatar.
Like his black and white work is amazing.
So fucking good, man.
And it's the same thing as like Jess Goodwin's Dark Angel models, is they still fit in today. Like scale creep,
yeah.
sure, like they seem a little smaller, but they're still very quality models.
Yeah, some of the scale creep, they're still gorgeous models, don't get me wrong, but they are decidedly smaller than a lot of stuff.
Asriel needs a new model super bad.
Well, he's getting Primaris size, so don't worry about
God, I fucking hope so.
Yeah. Hey, here's
it. I'm sorry. Whoa. Did you say you hope so?
Yeah, of course I do.
God, I fucking hope everybody gets Primaris.
Yeah, me
yeah.
too. I want it all to be the same. I want to get rid of the mini Marines altogether, to be honest.
yeah.
I don't wanna
There's
get it
no
all
place for them
together.
anymore.
Scouts still fit someplace.
No, they're called Tactical Marines now.
Only if they could buy tax infiltrate.
Yeah. I got one I want to throw out here. The Proto Duncan, Mike McVeigh.
Oh.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah,
sorry.
Mike McVeigh.
Mike
What a-
McVeigh.
Yeah,
what a
but-
great guy.
Mike McVeigh was an amazing, amazing painter and diorama creationist. Like almost all of
Is.
that stuff that you saw anytime that there was something that just where they just wanted to tell a story, it was something he made.
So, like, all of my inspiration in the early days came from Mike McVeigh dioramas and White Dwarf. Like, I was...
Really, I used the Sears and Roebuck bra section.
Yeah. I mean, each to their own, right?
Well, those black and white catalogs, though, Dave.
But
I'm sure that
it's
they were-
like I had no...
You could almost see nipples. There was no Photoshop back then.
There's a lot of stuff I didn't have an interest in or whatever, but then I would read an article with the Mike McVeigh where he was talking about making, I believe it was the Warhammer Quest diorama, which was like a 4 or 5, like a massive diorama, and all of the little things he puts in there, and it just inspired the hell out of me to kind of go out and be like, okay, I can convert stuff, I can do little things like this.
Can you imagine having a job? Well, at this point, it's a like 30-person job or something like that over there at Warhammer World. But can you imagine being where your job is just to get to make cool, amazing dioramas using the models that already exist and painting them up? Because he made most of them himself for the most part.
Like a lot of repositioning. If you look at it, like he made pretty much a Sanguinus. He made Horus. He made an Emperor. Again, scale creep, that little diorama he did. Very iconic, based on a great piece of art.
Oh, yeah, that piece of art.
But nowadays it's kind of ridiculous looking at where we are. But yeah, without Mike McVeigh, like I sat as like a teenager making dioramas based on the fact that, I mean, they weren't good.
Sure.
Boy,
Yeah,
were
no,
they no
obviously,
good.
yeah.
But the reason I want to make dioramas, and the reason to this day I put an effort into things like display boards, is from Mike McVeigh's articles in White Dwarf.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Every time I see an empty deodorant can in the trash, I want to make a land speeder out of it.
When really you should just throw your land speeder in the trash, because that's where it belongs anyway. Ooh.
That's not true. Land speeder talents with the assault cannons.
Does anyone else got some people they want to talk about?
I think we've actually named most of the ones that I think are iconic. I mean, if you want to go,
I got one more that I want to do.
Is it Andy Chambers?
I got two more that I want to do. There's several more.
So,
but yeah,
in my opinion, Duncan is, I'm going to say Duncan. Duncan Rhodes has brought a lot to this. He's made painting and getting better at painting more accessible by being a very goddamn likable person. I mean, like most of the people put on just kind of you get that show from a lot of people when you meet them. They're like, oh, got to put him on a GW face. Duncan is genuinely that guy.
Genuinely nice.
He's 24/7 that guy. He's the guy that when he worked in a GW store would sit down and help you work out the painting and stuff and sitting with you and paint for X number of hours, you know. And it's, I mean, he wasn't as fast as Chris Peach, who could just dry brush a freaking model and turn it, into finished in 20 minutes. But Duncan brought all that.
He nailed that kind of personality needed for that kind of video, right?
He nailed the Bob Ross.
Yeah.
It's the best way.
That's accurate.
The gentle enthusiasm.
Mm-hmm. Like, even if you make a mistake, it's not a big deal. You just fix it. It's no problem. Happy little accidents.
That's right.
That's how you get chaos.
I got one. Alan Blythe.
Oh yeah, man. Alan Blythe.
R.I.P.
that guy.
I was waiting. I was waiting for you to say Alan Blythe. I mean,
Alan Blythe is why Forge World is as big as it is today.
Oh, 100%.
and
Alan
not
Blythe
wiped out
is the reason there's plastic contemptors. He's the reason there was Battle for Prospero, the reason anything related to heresy. I'll go so far as to say he's the reason the heresy novels got as big as they were, or a large point behind it.
Yeah. Well, they needed it to tell their narrative for the story they were telling.
His ability to process and manage the encyclopedia of knowledge needed for that time. His ability to manage Horus Heresy 30K as a game system through the clusterfuck that it was 7th edition rules and is now 30K Battles in the Age of Darkness rules.
You know what killed me is how much better 30K Horus Heresy was rules-wise, using
than 7th?
Than 7th, using the same rules.
Using the
amazing.
same rules. Unfortunately, with his passing, we really saw what an influence he was. And I think in a negative way, that's affected the way GW runs its business from there.
Sure.
because
So much was given to Alan and so much was trusted in what he did.
When you have somebody like that, okay, when you have a quarterback,
right?
Let's see, we got a lot of British listeners. A front striker, football kicker guy.
It's a pollywagger.
A pollywagger.
When you have when you've got a
it's a
guy
British
that
term.
can
Don't
bend
worry
it
about
like
it.
It's a hooker,
all right?
Yeah,
that's what they call him in rugby.
When he polywaggles, yeah.
It's the stick it man. The wicket man.
Yeah, what
when
about
you got
the
a
guy
powerful
in
wicket
cricket?
man?
Is that the guy who hits the
wicket?
The sticky wicket?
Sticky wicket.
Sticky.
But no, when you have a guy who can take your team just by himself and do everything, you let him have it. And unfortunately, he passed away suddenly. So
yeah.
it really.
But I think that's informed how they move forward, which is sad because I think that's going to limit some people creatively. But man, the impact he had. Like, I've read interviews with heresy authors who say they go to him to double check stuff.
Yep, absolutely.
And they did all that, everything. His influence over Forge World's growth is greater than no one. It was huge.
And I've been told a lot, you hear a lot about how great of a person he was in addition to all that. Like, not only wasn't he an encyclopedic, having encyclopedic knowledge of 30 and 40K, but he also just was just a super genuinely great human being.
Yeah, because he could have very easily been that. Get out of here! I don't have to share this knowledge with you. Man, you know what I mean? That's the
Snidely Whiplash.
No, not Snidely Whiplash. More
like the comic
book
guy.
nerd. Yeah, thank you. Comic book guy from Simpsons. You want to know about the Horus Heresy?
I mean, I guess we'll round it out here, Danny, with the guy you just said.
The comic book guy from The Simpsons? I mean,
author of second edition and guide of 40K for 10 to 15 years, Andy Chambers.
Man, best guy ever.
Sweet mullet.
I heard he sure did, man. It was rocking in the late 90s. Like, it just looked out of place. Even me as a kid, I was like, man, do people still wear their hair like that?
It does when it's your source of power.
Hell
man.
yes. Like Samson that came before.
Andy Samson Chambers.
I heard he's kind of a badass too, where people would approach him at games days and he'd tell them to fuck off and stuff because they would be harassing him.
Do you know
while he was playing?
When a young John went to Games Day in Birmingham, I went up and said hello, and he said hello back.
Oh, nice!
It was very nice.
Oh,
clearly talking to somebody else.
Literally,
I can't imagine that young John who went up to him wasn't anything like.
No, I remember so the Games Day.
Hey, what's up? I'm waving at some hot chick behind him.
I know we make fun of Dave's age, but this will show my age. The first Games Day I went to in the UK was the one where they unveiled the full Ultramarine chapter.
You mean
for the
unveil?
first time. I'm sorry, I was speaking Australian again. But yeah, so the full Ultramarine chapter was there. They had some weird Gorka Morka racing game.
Oh yeah, sure. They had always had cool games at those.
They always cool games, just studio stuff.
Fucking Gorka Morka.
Literally
so
every
good
person
still.
I met there was great. So yeah, I have no complaints. He was responsible for second edition, kind of taking Rick Priestley's stuff from the kind of RPG based, story based games and making it more of a tabletop game based on small forces. And he had a huge influence until, unfortunately, I believe what happened was upper management at GW sometime in the 2000s went, man, we're spending a lot on all of these tenured rules designers and writers. Let's get rid of them all and replace them with Crudis and Ward and people like that.
Yeah. Or they just got sick of like being told what to do or have their creativity limited.
Chambers left. He did a Starship Troopers tabletop game. He did a bunch of other stuff.
He worked for Blizzard for a while.
Just great creative person that really helped, I think, get a really focused direction.
Sure.
But yeah, I think those are a lot of the unsung people. I mean, we know a lot about them.
Most of the people that we named were not unsung.
Well, they're not mentioned as much anymore, right? So right now you get your Pete Foley's get your shout outs, your Ray Dranfields are getting their shout outs. Like all of your
Waltons.
Tom Walton's, like, he brought in
such a good kid.
He brought in kind of the computer design for bigger models, like kind of like things like that. A lot of that is known and shared because of things like, Twitter, Facebook. We're able, and GW just being kind of open as a company. Whereas, back there, like your Jake Thorntons, your Gav Thorpes, I mean, they're not getting quite as much credit as deserved for that there. Thornton, he did some good fantasy stuff.
Or Thomas Piernan or whatever, too.
Yep, Thomas Piernan.
Who made the Marauder kit, the Orc Lord on Wyvern? You remember?
Alessandro. Amazing games designer, did the Mordheim.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So many people.
That was chock full of John Blanchard.
Yeah. Alicio,
there we go.
Cavatory.
Yeah. Amazing. If you guys have anyone else you think we missed or we got names wrong of or fucked up, let us know.
Send us a tweet about it.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there who deserve a lot of credit for getting us to where we are at my kitchen table.
Hashtag Dave screwed up.
Hashtag Dave screwed up.
Dude, I'm the best. I took first place at another tournament.
First off, stop with the thunder and lightning. You don't impress me. And second, let me check out the BCP rankings. And I don't see you on there.
What?
Your TO needs to download the Best Coast Pairings app and run events on it. After the event, the results are uploaded into BCP rankings, and the best part, it's easy and free.
But I play multiple game systems.
No big deal. The BCP app can be used for any game. A ton of events every weekend are using it, from major international tournaments to local stores. And now that it's available on Android devices, you're going to have some serious competition.
There can be only one.
BCP Rankings is a fun and exciting way to measure how you or your team stack up. No matter what you play, your score goes to an overall ranking. Or compete to be the best in a game, a circuit, a region, or the world.
Download the app or visit www.bestcoastpairings.com for more info.
Best Coast Pairings.
Are you the best?
And we're back. Just to round up some things. Like I said, I really enjoyed our little conversation down memory lane. I learned.
I always enjoy memory lane conversations.
I enjoyed learning that Adrian Smith and Brian Nelson were different people, even though Brian Nelson was like literally my favorite sculptor.
He was the older of the two Nelson brothers, right?
What?
Yeah.
There's no
long
brothers.
blonde hair, cowboy outfits, 80s rockers. No?
Thanit for letting me use that.
Yeah.
That was,
What are you talking about, Twinkle Toes?
Nelson, literally a band called.
it was super good. So next episode, we have lined up Getting Good, a practical guide.
Oh, so I'm out for this one again?
No, it's so we can learn, Dave, because it's positioned to be recorded right before the Midnight Sun GT, which we're going to both participate in.
That can't be true.
So we're going to learn how to get good.
That timeline, that doesn't line up. We got an episode that airs literally on the... That can't be right, John.
Oh, no, there's one in the middle.
Yeah, I was like,
all right, yeah, there we go. Yeah,
skip that one. Let's get good. Can we get good the episode after that? I will have forgotten how to get good by the GT if we get good that early.
But it's our Urban Conquest Roundup after that.
No.
So yeah. So the next one's gonna be Getting Good, and I think the benefit of it or talking about it is just gonna be little tips and tricks you can do playing a game. To kind of maximize your experience. I mean, to me, getting good, obviously, not just about winning. It's getting good as making the most out of your time at the table. Because you could have this great army list that just rips the shit out of your opponent. Just like bend your opponent over and you slowly place his dice up his ass. That's how competitive your army is.
Ass dice.
But that is not a good experience for anyone involved because no one wants to see you shit out ass dice.
There you go. Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about how to kind of maximize your game, playing against opponents that you don't know, and kind of setting expectations and things like that there. So that's kind of what we're going to go over next time. If there's anything else you want us to talk about, please suggest it. Dave will delete it before we can read it, as he is akin to do.
Yeah. This is spam. John, I just want to say that I did enjoy one of your tweets this week that wasn't controversial.
Oh, which one was that?
The having your Titan, Captain Morgan, is cool and all.
Oh man, I'm going to go into
just talking about this
Danny style John Blanche rage.
But if we ever thought of the physics of a 400-ton Titan standing on something, or is the Princeps putting all his skill into hovering slightly above a rhino?
Okay.
Now, I want to think about the fact that in versions of role-playing games, you can do all sorts of building stuff, okay? And that the Princeps put all of his points into ballet,
dexterity,
dance,
much like Dave,
nimble
he's
feet.
become Twinkle Toes, put all of his points into Twinkle Toes.
And he just, no guns on his knight. He's just like,
so
like skipping
he's got
through
jump
the air.
jets, dude.
No jump jets. It's like he's just that good with his walking.
Here's the deal, and here's what bugs me. I actually physically looked up in books how much a Warhound Titan weighs. A Warhound Titan weighs 400 tons.
Yeah.
Okay. There is no way, unless you're stepping on a building that is so fucking reinforced that it's like a 30 mile by 30 mile building with 29 mile walls. So it's just one dude in the center that can take that kind of weight and pressure.
So
what about Angron?
Yeah, not that I want to crush your narrative,
Angron.
John, because I really want you to forge your own narrative here. But have you ever given any thought to the fact that maybe this thing isn't standing so much as actually stepping, but because of where it's paused, frozen in time, it's able to just seem as though it's right before it's crushed?
No, because they don't model the foot to look like it's stepping. They model the foot flat on the goddamn rhino or the goddamn building. And that's
maybe
not
it's
how
just
this works.
about to crush it.
Maybe it's just about to
if they're
crush
just
it.
like, I'm going to crush it. Oh, I'm going to.
I must have
I'm gonna
missed
crush-
that.
Nope, not going to crush. Oh, am I going to crush you? Nope. I guess I'm not going to crush you. Oh, I'm going to crush you. No.
I must have missed the
God
time
damn
that
it.
John went to GW and got certified in Titan fucking physics over here.
Yes,
Jesus
you did,
Christ.
because you were ill last time. Jesus Christ.
We talked about this,
We
Dave.
talked
Didn't you
about
listen
this.
to the podcast?
No, totally.
All I know
I skipped around.
Fair.
my immersion
I did too.
into the reality of 400-ton building-sized god machines with independent spirits controlled by the mind of a man hardwired into it is ruined by its ability to step on a building. And that is not okay.
So what you're saying here is that from now on, all Titans either have to be modeled on flat ground or 1 foot hovering above it, not actually
through
touching it.
Through it. It would go through the building.
But what if he's not touching it though? Like,
What
what
is
if
it
the
like-
foot is just
it's like a
actually
little-
not touching? I'm not touching.
It's like a little
I'm
god
not
like-
touching you.
My 10-year-old son, like, just being like, oh, I'm not touching that. I'm not touching that. I told you not to touch it. I'm not touching it. I'm like, put your fucking finger away. God damn, it makes me angry. You couldn't point out my toilet paper tweet? That one was adorable.
I didn't complain about your toilet paper tweet.
No, I'm saying you couldn't point that one out as a good one. You have to point out the one that makes me legitimately
I
angry.
pointed out the one that it made me laugh my ass off when I wrote my response to it. Hi, I'm Dave, and I'll be playing a Warlord Titan Princeps. My Warlord Titan Princess put all of his building points into nimble feet.
okay.
When he and his Lord of War stride into battle, the crowds always cry, "Here come the odd stepper."
So my...
What the fuck? Did you just have a seizure?
Badara.
Sure. The episode I decide to remove... The episode I decide to remove the fucking crickets from the soundboard. Dave goes and tries to rap.
I told you I listened to the last episode. You mentioned you were removing the crickets.
It breaks my
You
realism.
love
But
me
again,
like
okay.
that.
In kind of a self-awareness kind of way, I realized that me complaining about my realism being broken by a mind-controlled psychic machine with the spirits of 100 past drivers is ridiculous. And I know that. But when I see these models and people spend like thousands of dollars on these models, and like, look how I positioned it.
Yeah, and
It's
dude,
leaning moderately above a building.
Yeah,
I'm like,
except
why?
they're completely happy with it, John. You have let them forge their own narrative.
Forge
just
your
because
fucking narrative. It doesn't make any
it
goddamn
doesn't
sense.
listen, Einstein,
As
just
a-
because E equals
It's a Matt Ward
MC
fucking
Ward.
warhound.
As a fascist, Dave.
Am I the fascist or you?
No, I'm the
Okay,
fascist.
got it.
I am totally want to tell people how to play the models.
I know you do.
I really do.
You're
That's
kind of a
really dumb.
monster. So you got anything else? Because if so, I got one more thing.
No, that's all I want to say on that. I'm going to just center myself real quickly.
Control your chi, John. It's getting everywhere.
Myself to center.
Got it. Sounds good. All right. So earlier this week, Cold Open Stories dropped. They are fan-driven audio that the
shit! It's a
creator of-
car.
Yeah. Fan-driven
Jesus
content
Christ.
on the 40K. So
Just
you've got,
wanted to use another button. Fuck you, John.
Well, that's what happens when you let him center his chi, Danny. Should have just made him stay on the whole time.
Yeah.
No, it's fan
Chi
created
goes in the balls.
and driven. Like they have created it. They're paying for it. They're doing it, all fans acting, the voice in it, writing for it, doing all that stuff. And they asked us to do some stuff in it. So
Yeah.
go and listen.
For
and
some reason.
We
feel
responded
Danny's
to
power.
the chain email,
I don't know how we got on there. It was like
much like GW's review list. We're
Somehow-
not quite sure how we got on there.
Or that weird spam we got.
But you can find them at coldopenstories.com. The first story, actually, I've listened to it all the way through, and I freaking like it. It's a nice
Man,
40K set.
that is a nice website quality quote. I freaking like it.
I mean,
Dave.
what do you want from me? I'm in it, so it's I don't want to be like it's the best thing I've ever heard. It's better than sliced bread.
I mean, we're not going to get free advertising by saying it's okay.
we're not going to get any advertising because they don't have any money. So
I mean, they could throw a logo up there. Yeah. Anyway, yes, Cold Open Stories. It was great fun to take part of.
It was.
It sounds great. There's a high production value. ColdOpenStories.com.
it's like not us.
I know. It's crazy. It's like they all actually use their equipment well for the intended purpose rather than just fucking throwing money at things and hoping it works.
They stopped calling when they heard that you'd bought that new board, and they were like, "Oh, that's so cute, baby's first podcast board."
Excuse you, baby's fourth podcast board.
Get it right, bitch.
Anyway,
Whatever. But yeah, definitely take that listen. It sounds great. Danny, have you, Anthony, you want to plug there? Were you part of some kind of YouTube mini series that you wanted to kind of add in at the end?
No, it's actually a
miss something?
made-for-TV sci-fi series.
For the Sci-Fi Channel.
that makes
Sci-Fi
perfect
channel.
sense. John and I get asked to do an audiobook. Danny's currently starring in 40K.
It's a remake of Andromeda Strain, actually.
It's very
No,
good.
you know what I listened to this week that was super excellent, and I encourage anybody who has a chance to listen to it. Val Heffelfinger and Peter the Falcon Colosimo. It's Colosimo.
Sorry, you mean Peter Falcone?
Yeah, sure, right. They started a podcast on Frontline's stream of podcasts called it's like I think it's called 40K Stats.
40K Stats, yeah.
And it's like a Sports Center-esque.
How do we get ourselves on that frontline fat cash?
We send them audio of us interviewing the winner of a tournament and send it to them. I think from what I read
Don't
of
they
their
know
post,
worse?
that's pretty much what you do.
pretty much.
Yeah.
All right.
I have professional portable audio equipment.
So interview me at Midnight Sun,
Okay.
please.
Okay.
Or me. Dun dun dun.
Well, yeah.
Why did I
really
remove
wanna
the crickets?
Anyway, so for Mob Rules, I've been Dave.
And I've been John,
I've been Danny.
and we'll see you next time.
Hell yeah.
Later.